Right, UFC 322 next Saturday. We've spoken about, obviously, the main event, the co-main event. We're going to get straight into this one. In the heavyweight division, we have got Waldo Cortes Acosta, ranked number 5, versus Derrick Lewis, ranked number 8 at heavyweight. Now, this fight is super exciting. This whole fight card is just banger after banger after banger. You know, Waldo Cortes last year had an amazing year, fighting 5 times, won 4 out of the 5. Each time he was winning, putting on a better performance than last time. He had obviously the one slip up, but it weren't an awful loss. You lost to a very good person. And obviously Derrick Lewis as well, coming off 2 good wins last year against okay people, kind of newcomers who get into the rankings. UFC want to try build up the stars, and then Derrick Lewis just keeps knocking them down. But you know how we do it here. We're going to talk about one guy, then the other, and let's get straight into it. So, on my left, Waldo Cortes Acosta, ranked number 5. His record is 16-2. 8 KOs, 1 submission, 5 first-round finishes. You know, in his 16 wins, 9 of them being obviously finishes. You know, that's really good. It is really good, to be fair. Heavyweights normally have a lot of finishes. His good wins, Waldo Cortes, obviously last time out, Shamil Gaziev. Shamil is all right. There was hype around him being like the heavyweight Khabib, the heavyweight Russian, you know, like the next big thing from Dagestan, and he hasn't really done much, but it's still a ranked good win. Anthony Delija, that one hurts me because I love Anthony Delija. I think he's going to be a big thing in the UFC, give him a couple more things. But that was a bit of a weird fight where Delija got the KO, like the TKO win. Then they were like, no, it was an eye poke. Then they restarted the fight. But you did announce that. Well, they didn't announce, but they stopped the fight. So Delija's obviously celebrated and all that. And then they go, no, actually, it was an eye poke. And they restarted it. And then Waldo Cortes ended up knocking out Delija. So a bit of a weird one. But regardless, a win's a win. And Sergey Spivak, you know. Sergey Spivak, probably one of the most dominant wrestlers in the heavyweight division, and he's beaten them. So he's beating some good guys. Dagestani guy who's got good striking, Anthony Delija, who's explosive and fast, and a good wrestler. So Cortes has got some good wins there. His only 2 losses, he's lost to DeLima. I don't know if you guys remember DeLima. He kind of was in the rankings for a little bit. It was the one Derrick Lewis, funny enough, knocked out in like a minute. Just as soon as the fight started, ran over, flying knee, ground and pound, that was it. But his loss last year as well, was to Sergey Plakovic. So, you know, Sergey Plakovic being one of the most devastating knockout artists we've had in the heavyweight division ever. Didn't get knocked out, lost on a decision win. So, you know, two okay losses. I mean, Plakovic is a good loss. Nose, very active in 2025. You know, that's what we want from fighters. We want activeness, you know. To be fair, Waldo Cortes went up and beyond being active. That was more than active. He's given us some entertaining knockouts, to be fair. He's getting more KOs every time. He's now found his way with his hands. Before he was a decision maker and people were like, oh, he's boring. Well, now he's swapping it up with the hands. He's becoming very good with the hands. He's well-rounded for a heavyweight as well. You know, he can go the distance if he needs to. He can go to the ground as well. He now, like I said a second ago, he is now getting reliant on the hands, what is fun for us viewers. So he's very all-rounded. And the last thing I've also put for Cortes is title shot next. If Waldo Cortes beats Derrick Lewis, personally, I think he should be the one after Cyril Gane to get a title shot. You know, Volkov, yeah, I think Volkov should deserve it, but at the same time, Volkov had a really weird fight with Almeida, And it was just like, do you really deserve a title shot? Like, you should have got it in the first place, but he's already lost to Tom Aspinall. So it's a bit of a weird one. But Waldo Cortes, to be fair, 5 fights last year, kicks off the year against Derrick Lewis. If he beats him, I think a title shot after Garn and Aspinall 2 happens. Or even if that doesn't happen, because it doesn't look great for Tom Aspinall. I think people were like, oh, he's faking it. Well, I mean, he still is he's having surgery or getting surgery soon. So it's definitely worse than what we all thought it was. So if the title becomes vacant or there's an interim title, Cortes definitely has to fight for it if he beats Derrick Lewis. I'll get on to Derrick Lewis in a minute, but he's from the Dominican Republic and he's 34 years old. For a heavyweight, that's reasonably young. So that's everything to do with Cortes. Let's go on to Derrick Lewis on obviously the right. Derrick Lewis, ranked number 8. Record 29-12. KOs, 24 KOs. That is absolutely ridiculous. You know, the power he has is ridiculous. 10 first-round finishes, good wins. Now, Derrick Lewis has a lot of good wins, but I've put his top good wins. So, Marcin Topuria, you might be thinking, Marcin Topuria? Like, what do you mean? Marcin Topuria is very good. He's a guy who can consistently stays in the rankings. He's never out of the rankings. You know, you think he's done, and then he comes back and wins 2, loses the big one, and he's just consistent in that. You've got Curtis Blades in there. Curtis Blades is another guy I personally think is massively underrated in the heavyweight division. I think Curtis Blades has been good for so many years. Has always come up short, really unlucky. Alexander Volkov as well. Derrick Lewis was getting battered by him, like absolutely battered. And then all of a sudden turns it around and knocks him out in the 3rd round. And probably Derrick Lewis's best win, even though it was the worst fight in history. He's beat Francis Ngannou. So make it as you will. It was an awful fight. Really, none of them should have won. They should have just both got a loss on their record because it was that bad of a fight. But Derrick Lewis has beaten Francis Ngannou. Now, Derrick Lewis has got some top-tier losses. It's people you should be losing to, but he's got 12 losses, so I've got, obviously, all the big losses. So he's lost to Cyril Gane, who's a former interim champ. He's lost to Jolton Almeida, who obviously is a top, I think, 6 heavyweight. He's lost to Daniel Cormier, is one of the GOAT of the sport. Sergey Spivak just got wrestled. Sergey Plakovic, another one who both of the guys have lost to. Tai Tuivasa when Tai was on the come up. And he's lost to Junior Dos Santos and a former champ. So, you know, he's got a few losses on there, but they're all to good names. He's also got some other good wins. You know, there's Mark Hunt, Travis Brown. There's other people on there. Ilia Latifi. Like, there's other good names, but I wanted to just keep the list short and put his top guys on there. But notes for Derrick Lewis. Hardest hitter in the UFC. If anyone's going to argue that is Alex Pereira or maybe Joe Pyfer, Joe Pyfer hits pretty hard. I'm sorry, but it's Derrick Lewis. The guy is an absolute unit. He's a heavyweight. He hits like a truck. There's a reason they call him the Black Beast. He is a beast. He's got that one-touch death, you know. I personally believe Derrick Lewis is the hardest hitter. Has to be. He's dangerous in any round. You know, it could be round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you give him the chance, he's going to let go, and he's going to let go of that trigger and shoot it in his right hand. You know, like I was saying, the Alexander Volkov win. Volkov was battering him, absolutely battering him. From round 1, 2, all the way to 3. I think, pretty sure it was like, there was like a minute left or so. And Derrick Lewis managed to get the knockout and knocked him out cold. He's explosive, you know, in the fact of, against DeLima, he beat DeLima. Fight starts, legit. 2 seconds into the fight, he's running, charging at DeLima. Flying knee, drops him, ground and pound. He's just so explosive. the flying knees will come out of nowhere. He'll all of a sudden flurry with you, like in the way of you could just be there chilling, bouncing around, and the next thing you know, you've got Derrick Lewis coming at you. The whole of 6'4" and God knows how many pounds he is. I have got one note on here. Well, it's not a positive. He is a really bad wrestler. If you take him down, you pretty much won. In the fact of Spivak did it, DC did it, Almeida did it, other people as well have done it to him. Like Curtis Blades, he was losing the Curtis Blades fight. It only went 2 rounds, but Curtis Blades just took him down, and obviously Derrick Lewis threw the uppercut and managed to get the knockout. But that's Derrick Lewis's weakness, is takedowns. Just take him down, sit on him. I could see Cortes doing that. I will be honest, I could see him doing that. But yeah, Lewis is 40 years old. He's an older heavyweight, and he's from the United States. So, prediction time. I'm going to have to go with the hype and the run of Waldo Cortes. I think he could even finish it in the way of he's getting so comfortable with his hands. I think he might be like, you know what? I'm going to swing. If Lewis starts swinging, Cortes starts swinging. I'm going to go with just a random prediction. I'm going to go with like a first round finish for Cortes. I probably will be wrong, but that's what I'm going to go with. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, all that. The next video we are doing is Arnold Allen v. Jern Silva. So stay tuned for that. Paddy v. Gaethje is already up. So is O'Malley and Dong. I'll be uploading Allen and Silva soon. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you in a bit.